Charlie nodded, and asked curiously, "Where are his father and his brother?" Isaac said, "The current head of the Wu family is Wu Qi's grandfather. However, although the Wu family is run by Wu Qi's father, Ragnar, who is the eldest son, has already begun to take over the family business on a large scale. Not surprisingly, he must be the next generation Wu patriarch." After speaking, Isaac said again, "As for Wu Qi's brother Roger, he just graduated from Cambridge University the year before, and now he has begun to take over part of the family business under Ragnar's guidance. Ragnar also regards Roger as a second nurtured by a generation of heirs." Charlie nodded. He knew that the Wu family had a relatively strong background and was considered the #1 family in Orus Hill, but in his eyes, the Wu family was really not afraid. He taught the second son of their family because their second son was a brutal bee at Stard. If the Wu family refused to accept it and wanted to pursue it, then he wouldn't mind having fun with them. At this time, Isaac's car stopped downstairs at Charlie's house. Charlie pushed the car door and said lightly, "You have been running around all night, and you have worked hard. Go back and rest early." Isaac nodded hurriedly. "Okay, master, thank you for your concern." After getting off, the sky in the east was already pale. When Charlie returned home, his wife Claire and his father-in-law were still asleep. He returned to the bedroom lightly. Seeing Claire lying on the bed sleeping soundly, he was relieved immediately. Because of the 9 profound heaven scriptures, his mental state has always been very good. Even if he didn't rest all night, he didn't feel tired. So he took out the 300-year-old purple ginseng that was bought for 100 million at auctions yesterday. Carefully observed for a moment. This superb purple ginseng has a lot of medicinal strength, and it is more than enough to refine the rejuvenating pills with better medicinal effects. The medicinal effect of this rejuvenating pill is very magical. It can make dead wood come in spring. If the dying person takes it, he can rise from the dead and keep his life for several years. Those who are in their old age can prolong their life by 10 years or even longer if they take it. Even if it is taken by a healthy ordinary person, it can make the body stronger, resistant to all poisons, and no disturbance to all diseases. To ordinary people, it can definitely be regarded as magic medicine in the world of medicine. Although Charlie's body is already too much stronger than that of ordinary people, for him, if he can make a rejuvenating pill and take it regularly, his body can also be continuously tempered with medicine, and thus go further. Therefore, Charlie decided to take time today to prepare all the remaining medicinal materials and refine the rejuvenating pills first. At 7 o'clock in the morning, Claire woke up quietly. Charlie heard the movement and hurriedly pretended to be asleep, lying motionless on the floor. After Claire got up, sat on the bed and stretched out, looking at Charlie who was sleeping on the floor, suddenly a little distressed. Ever since Charlie married her and became a live-in son-in-law, he has been sleeping on the floor for more than 3 years. When he first got married, Claire really didn't feel anything about Charlie, and didn't like him at all. However, after getting along these few years, she didn't know why, she felt more and more that with Charlie by her side, she would feel particularly safe. Sometimes, even for fear that he would leave her suddenly. During the recent period of time, so many things have happened at home, and it has made Claire feel more and more that Charlie is actually the person she can rely on most in this world. Apart from him, her dearest relatives are more than one. Not reliable. Naturally, there is no need to talk about Grandma. She didn't regard her as family at all. As for her mother, it is also difficult for her to say a word. In her mother's eyes, she is the tool for her to reach the pinnacle of life and lead a rich life. Even if she has been married to Charlie for more than 3 years, she still hopes that she and Charlie get divorced and then married her to a rich man. But her father was confused all day long. He would burn a lot of scent if he didn't get into trouble outside, let alone give her a little support at critical moments. Therefore, it seemed that Charlie, who was sleeping on the floor, was the most reassuring. Just as she looked at Charlie and the warmth in her heart was surging, the door of the room was suddenly pushed open. As soon as she looked up, she saw her mother Elaine rushing in aggressively in her pajamas. Claire couldn't help asking, "Mom, what are you doing? Why did you come in without knocking?" Elaine quickly ran to the other side of the bed, looked down, and saw Charlie asleep on the ground. Then she breathed a sigh of relief and muttered, "I had a nightmare. I dreamed that you were pregnant with Charlie's child. It almost scared me to death. So I came over to see if Charlie slept in your bed." Fortunately not. After speaking, Elaine reminded her while massaging her heart, "I'm telling you, I can't let Charlie get into your bed, do you hear me?"